Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Bowser's Fury. This was the pack-in game extra mode that you get for buying Super Mario 3D World on the Switch because Nintendo realized they needed to do something to hype up this re-release. Now, even though I think a re-release of 3D World itself probably still would have sold very well, this was oddly nice of Nintendo to be like, oh, and you get a new side mode to play, which is actually better than the actual mode, the actual advertised thing. So let's get into it. So what is the plot of Bowser's Fury? Where pretty much Mario discovers this black sludge in the Mushroom Kingdom. He gets absorbed by it, and then he ends up in like this place called Lake Lapcat, which is like a bunch of cat-themed islands, because again, they're going off of the theme in 3D World, which 3D World's whole thing was, oh, you now have the cat bell power up. So they're going off of that, and they're doing a whole cat aesthetic, and they go all out. There's cat versions of everything. There's cat Cheep Cheeps, there's cat Goombas, there's cat Bomb-Bombs and Pom-Poms, there is cat everything. Every version, every enemy is a cat. Even the Bullet Bills have cat ears. They're all kitty cats. So he then comes across Fury Bowser, which is Bowser who has been corrupted by this dark sludge. He then meets Bowser Jr., who asks Mario for help in restoring his dad back to normal. So the way you do that, which is now in the gameplay, is you need cat shines. So this kind of operates a bit like something akin to Mario Sunshine, where each little island has a lighthouse, and the lighthouse has 5 cat shines that need to go in it. Once you get all 5, the lighthouse then gets a flag, and it can now no longer be like covered by the black sludge, because every time Fury Bowser shows up, which he does periodically, right, because he'll go away and the only way you can get rid of him is to find a cat shine because the light hurts him and then he disappears. Every time he shows up, the lighthouses get sludge back on them, but once they get the flag, it's like they're immune from that. They're kind of done now they can't be like covered anymore. So it's the thing where it's like every island has 5 cat shines. You have to go find the cat shine, leave the island, then come back, and now the island has like reset itself to now be ready for your next shine. And there's different variety of things that you can do to get a cat shine. So the first one is you do it with every island. You just have to scale to the lighthouse. Get to the lighthouse and there's a cat shine there waiting for you. There are cat shine shards. There's 5 of them you need to find. When you find all 5, you get a cat shine. Some islands have a mission called Blue Coin Bustle, which is you have to get the blue coins in a certain amount of time before the time limit expires, and you get a cat shine. There is one where it's like a like black evil version of Gooigi appears, and you have to chase him down and hit him like 3 times, and then he gives you a cat shine. There is one which is where you have to use Fury Bowser to destroy blocks that only his like fire can destroy, and usually that gives you a cat shine. You can get a cat shine that way too. There's one where you have to get a key, which is located somewhere on the island, and you have to grab the key, take it to a cage which has your cat shine in it, and there you go. There is a couple ones which are activated by hitting switches that have now magically appeared. And usually what they do is sometimes maybe they'll make an obstacle course, and you have to quickly do the obstacle course before the time limit expires. There's one where it locks you in like an area, and you have to defeat a certain amount, like all the enemies in the area, and then you get a cat shine. So there's a wide variety of different ways to get cat shines from all these islands, and then there's of course ones that aren't linked to an island. They're just out there, which you can get on your own. You have to use Plessy, who becomes very important in this later on, to get some of the cat shines. It's really fun collecting the cat shines. There's about 100. There is 100 cat shines in the game, and in order to beat the main campaign, you need to get half. You need to get 50. So by the time you finish the main campaign, you're gonna have half the cat shines anyway. So there's that, and then you just get the other 50 on your own. This is really fun. I cannot tell you how much fun I had it's so fun just going around exploring, getting all the cat shines. It's very open world, right? It's an open world game. That's what this is. This is an open world game. Even though the world isn't as big as some other open world games, this is an open world game at the end of the day. And it's super fun to just go around and find the cat shines, run into cat shines. And it's just so much fun. I can't stress like how much fun you have just going around and finding all the shards. And of course, more stuff happens post-game. There is a post-game stuff that you like some cat shines only exist post-game. So you do have to go back in post-game and get all the shards. You don't actually need to unlock all the islands before you beat the main campaign, because I didn't. I only unlocked like 3 islands and I still beat the campaign. No, I wouldn't say 3 islands, 4 I technically, because one of them is not an island, it's a tower, but it still operates the same. So 4 I technically unlocked beating the main campaign. And then the other 2 has all been post-game stuff, so there's that. So like I said, you don't need to do everything in this before beating the main campaign. Now, the reason you want to get all the shines is because when you get a certain number of shines, a Gigabell arrives. What is a Gigabell? A Gigabell is a giant cat bell that when you use it, you turn into Giga Mario. So you basically become Cat Mario, who's super huge, the same size as Fury Bowser, and you can have a boss fight with him. And those boss fights are so fun. They are so fun. His attacks, of course, as every Giga fight with Bowser, his attacks, he starts to get some more attacks, you know. He like goes on like his side and like in the shell and starts rolling around to get you. He starts throwing spikes at you. He eventually ends up throwing fireballs that you can kick back at him. While after post game, I've realized like a bunch of different attacks I could have used to fight him. Like there's a wide variety of ways you can hit him. Like you can pick up his own spikes and throw them at them. You can kick his fireballs back at him. While he's in like the side spinning mode, if you're lucky enough, you can hit him in the stomach because that's his weak point, is the stomach. But the Fury Bowser fights, they're really fun as boss fights. Like they're really fun. They're nothing complicated. Nothing about this game is super complicated. The shines, they're not super complicated to get. None of them are hard shines, I would say. So far, none of the shines are hard. They're just, some are more challenging than others, and that's what I want. I want it to be where it's like, I know I can do it, I just have to get a good run. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna take me like 3 times to get this shine, but I will get the shine eventually. Not like super hard level where it's like, you're getting it based on you were lucky this time. It's like, no, you're gonna get the shine because you got better. That's what I like. That's what I like. And that's the right amount of difficulty, which this game does. What else can I say? There is multiplayer in the game. The second player becomes Bowser Jr., who... Let's talk about Bowser Jr. He can actually do some stuff for you. There is, like, question marks on, like, walls and stuff, and you have to use the pointer, the gyroscope, and point at it, and then Bowser Jr. will paint on it because he's got his brush from Sunshine, and he'll paint on it, and usually that results in you getting a power-up. Speaking of the power-ups, the way they handle power-ups in this game is great, which is you have... Remember in 3D World, there was you could have power-ups back in like a backup, you could have 2 power-ups that you could save for yourself? Well, it's much different and it's much better. You now have every power-up has a slot, and you can save up to 5 of them. So you can save up to 5 cat bells. You can save up to 5 flower mushrooms. You can save up to 5 fire flowers. You can save up to 5 mushrooms. You can save up to 5 tanuki leaves. Save up to 5 boomerang flowers. And then there's another one which is also a cat. It's like another bell for a cat. So technically you can save up to like 10 cat bells with this other one. So that is really fun. Like the idea that you can just like, you don't waste your power-ups. You can save all your power-ups. That is so good. And that is such a good idea. It is such a fantastic idea that I love it. I love the idea that, like, storing all the power, like, the idea of just storing power-ups. That's fun. I love that. Just storing the power-ups is great. But, like, you can save all of them. Every power-up has a slot up to 5. That is so fun. And it comes in handy quite a few bit of times, which I do love. So far, the towers and the islands, I would not say any of them are really hard, like I said. None of the towers are really hard. I would say maybe the worst tower to do is rolling roller isle. That one is just hard. Like, that's the hard one. That's when they're like, maybe we've made this a bit too easy for you all. And then they just went crazy on this one. Because this one's hard. This one's really, really hard. This one's like, was the only tower that was a pain to climb. It's just not good. It's really just not good and not fun. And then, like, just going around here and having to get all the cat shines was not a fun time. Which, funnily enough, Mount Magmeow, which is the tower that's supposed to be next, is way funner and way easier. Funny. So there's that. And that's it. That's a lot of Bowser's Fury. I guess I really want to say. Like, all I can say is it's fun. It's just a really fun game that ended up being funner than the actual 3D World game it was meant. Because this is meant to just be a little side mode to sweeten the deal to get this port a 3D World. But it ended up being funner and better. I should say, the controls are 3D World controls, but it doesn't feel like 3D World. It does feel a bit more Odyssey, which makes sense because this was done post-Odyssey. And if this is where we're heading in the direction of 3D Mario, if 3D Mario is heading in this direction, and this is like, you know, just a sample of what Nintendo's working on for the next 3D Mario, I'm all in, right? Like how Shadow Generations is a sample of what we're gonna get for Sonic Frontiers 2, right? Where you can tell in Shadow Gens, they've polished the controls. It's easier to control in the hub world, right? You don't feel like you're gonna fall off everything in, like, you know, in a precarious position, right? Like you're being held by luck when moving around as Sonic and Frontiers. In Shadow, he's got a lot better control over him. And then in, like, the actual levels, again, much better control over the overall, right? Like, you can tell Shadow Gens is an improvement gameplay-wise from Frontiers. If Bowser's Fury is an indication of where we're going for 3D Mario post-Odyssey, we're in a great place. Because this has been such a fun experience. Seriously. At the time I record this, I have not fully 100%ed. I'm close to 100%ing the game, though. Once you 100%, you get all the cat shine shards. A new form of Fury Bowser appears, where he's like, now instead of red flames, he's got blue flames. And that's it, really. But it's cool that they even did something like that, so why not? And I should say, post-game, once you enter post-game, you can now fight Fury Bowser whenever you want. Like, whenever he shows up, you can fight him. Doing so will then just restart the final boss again, because after you beat Fury Bowser, then you fight regular Bowser, who steals all the cat bells. So yeah, fighting him as Giga Mario post-game, once you beat Fury Bowser, he just goes right into the final boss again. So I should warn you to do when that happens. So never get the Giga Bell again. I mean, you can if you want, but just know you'll be doing the final boss again. So that's it. That's Bowser's Fury. Overall, this is really fun. For a side mode, it ended up being way more fun than 3D World. Like, this is... I dare say Bowser's Fury might be one of my favorite Mario games ever. Like, this has just been a blast to play. Like, I have had so much fun with this game. It is a joy to boot up, and every time I boot it up, I have fun. It is great. So, Bowser's Fury, for me, personally, I give it a 9 out of 10. This is a phenomenal game, and it's honestly, the price for 3D World Bowser's Fury, I would say is worth it, definitely. We want to talk about Nintendo pricing recently. This is worth it because you get an old game from the Wii U, which is really good. that they've now fitted to work with the Nintendo Switch. But then you get Bowser's Fury, which is just above and beyond what it should have been as a side mode, and it ended up being just a fantastic Mario game in its own right. So there we go. That's it for me. Bowser's Fury gets a 9 out of 10. What do you all think? I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. But what do you all think about Bowser's Fury? Do you think it's better than 3D World, or do you think it's worse than 3D World? I'd like to hear your conversation and thoughts in the comments down below. So thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time.